What's up, you guys? It's Scrub Tier Yu-Gi-Oh here, bringing you back another video today. Today we're just going to be doing a real quick top 5 splashable engines in Yu-Gi-Oh. This is going to be just a quick top 5 list of my favorite engines just to splash in multiple decks. There's not really any rhyme or reason. These are just the ones that I personally like the most, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about them, share a couple ideas with you guys. Before we get started, please leave a like and subscribe and give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. But without further ado, here we go. Starting off the list, we're going to get right into things. We're going to talk about the Wind Witch engine. Now, any engine's ability to just vomit out a one-card Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is absolutely awesome. Especially considering it's an indestructible Crystal Wing at that. The Wind Witch engine is just really good. I mean, just that Crystal Wing can single-handedly win you games. And, for the decks that can play the Wind Witch engine now in Master Rule 4, it's perfect. You can splash it into little tribute decks that don't really rely on their extra deck. I think of like Monarchs. Just put in one copy of Crystal Wing, and then you play your Wind Witch engine, and then all your Monarch stuff is good. And if you don't draw the Wind Witch engine, you just play Monarchs and you're fine. And it really does boost that kind of stuff, and just decks that aren't really reliant on their extra deck. And that Wind Witch engine does really give those kind of decks a big boon. And every time I've found a deck that you can play the Wind Witch engine in, it does nothing but boost the power ceiling of the deck, which is awesome. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Artifact engine. Now, the Artifact engine isn't necessarily more to further your own game state. It's more about hindering your opponent. Using Artifact Scythe during your opponent's turn to just lock them completely out of their extra deck. Artifact Morale Tack to get some pops. In the right format, Lancia is another good card to run as well. It pops up every now and again, but just the ability to provide your deck with a little extra stun through the Artifact engine and get you a free monster out of it. The Artifact engine definitely pulls its weight whenever you play it. Anytime you play the Artifact engine, it definitely pulls its own weight. Moving on, we're going to go into Kaijus. Now, any deck, the majority of the time in Yu-Gi-Oh, most formats, most decks are going to want to go first, they're going to want to establish a board, so on and so forth. If you can take your normal deck and tweak it just a little bit to go second, and main deck these Kaijus, you can find great success. I mean, the Kaijus are instant outs to stupidly powerful monsters. I mean, back when Master Beast was a thing, just Kaiju over it. Back when Zodiac Trident was a thing, Kaiju it. Now with Goki's U-Link boards, you just Kaiju off the Trigate Wizard, and your life is good. You go on about your day like nothing ever happened. And they're really good ways to out problematic monsters, and that's just one example. We've still got ABC Dragon Buster. Don't sleep on ABC. Dragon Buster's still an awesome card. Invoked Mechaba, that's an awesome card. Just tribute over it. There's all sorts of ways that the Kaijus can really make your life a lot easier, because essentially in most decks they're just going to be dead cards on the field. They really do come in clutch when you do play them in a really great engine. Moving on, we're actually going to talk about the Invoked engine. Now, a lot of people are just playing Mech Knight Invoked, but you can splash Alistair in a lot of things. All it needs is attribute monsters, and he can actually be used as good counters to some decks. Invoked Mechaba is an awesome card. Purgatrio is an OTK machine, and the Darkwind Caliga is actually a pretty good stun monster. It's a Dark Door and one other Floodgate on legs. And it's really great stun card, and it provides you a lot of flexibility. And it's another one of those engines. If you don't rely on your extra deck a whole lot, make an Invoke monster, and it does nothing but boost your own deck's capabilities. And that's really what this whole list is about. I don't believe in running pure decks, and these are some of the best engines to run that are going to boost your deck's power ceiling. Speaking of boosting a deck's power ceiling, we're going to move into our number 1 slot, and that's going to be the Lightsworn engine. Now, you would actually be surprised by just about how many decks actually get sped up by the Lightsworn engine. And by the Lightsworn engine, I mean 3 Lumina, 3 Raiden, 3 Wolf, 3 Charge, and 3 Recharge. You know, it's simple. Not a whole lot of cards. It's only 15 cards out of your deck. You know, that's pretty good, a little bit of wiggle room. But you would actually be surprised with just how many decks you can run these cards in. You know, the ability to synchro summon should never be looked down upon. And this strategy, you know, you toss in a glow up bulb, you can make a Crystal Wing with this too. You know, if you guys watched the Crystal Wing Turbo deck I built the other day, it's basically the entirety of the Lightsworn engine just making Crystal Wings. And it's, you know, don't sleep on this engine. There's quite a few decks that can abuse the Lightsworn engine that just take them to a whole nother level. And I really would say, you know, look out for it. You know, Macrocosmos will screw it over. Definitely wouldn't sleep on it. It's been a contender deck for a long time. But anyway, you guys, that was just my quick top 5 splashable engines to boost your power ceiling. You know, try experimenting around with some of these. I wouldn't say running multiples of these engines at the same time. You know, Windwitch Invoked Artifact used to be a deck, but Master Rule 4 kind of slaughtered that. So, but you know, the Going Second Draco deck, the Lightsworns, you know, you can find actual success with those if you play your cards right. Anyway, I've been Scrubtier Yu-Gi-Oh! You guys have been awesome. Again, please leave a like and subscribe to see future content. Please give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. And don't forget to be a scrub.